Okay. What we're going to do, Ade, is that we're just going to look at the festival. We're going to try to pull down what the festival has achieved, how the festival is organized, who come and goes from the festival, and what we need. If we need to support the festival, we're going to look at it from different ramifications.
Yeah.
So I think we start from the festival has been on for how many years now?
It's about 9 years now.
It's about 9 years. Now, let's look at festival, Carlow Film Festival for 9 years.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the challenges. How has it been organizing Carlow Film Festival from the point of view of the challenges encountered?
The challenges, the first one I would say would be in terms of attracting people to the festival. That has been the greatest challenge, and we've always been trying to devise new method, to put out the information there to get other people to attend. Even though the festival is labeled the Carlow African Film Festival, but it's beyond the territories of Carlow. I mean, everybody is invited, whether you live in Cork, you live in Galway, wherever you are, it is the celebration of Africa, and we should all come together to celebrate Africa. So that is the message we've been trying to put across. I know that sometimes people see Carlow, the distance as a barrier, but I tell people that I work in Dublin. I commute to Dublin Monday to Friday, every day. Dublin is down the road for me. So it's an event that takes place once in a year. So people should endeavor to, attend this event. So in terms of attracting people, we want it to be a real celebration of Africa. Let everybody come together from different counties of Ireland. So that is one of the challenges that we've had over the years. And the other challenge would be in terms of we bring in actors and actresses from Africa, and we invite them over here, but in terms of visa application, we find that it's always a tug of war to get visas for this artist, because the process is really very long. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of you have to engage with the actors and the actresses and try to find a conducive time when they can go to the embassy. And sometimes from your own experience, I know that you understand what I'm talking about, that it takes a very long time for the visa. You put in the visa application and it takes months, for the visa to go through. And these artists, they are always flying around the continent. Thank God for the lives of these artists. Thank God for the way things have changed around in Africa, that they are now recognized and then now move from one country to another. So sometimes some of them don't have the luxury of putting in their passport and waiting for 2 or 3 months. So, but in terms of, and then we've had teething problems like every other organization would have, but those would be the two major challenges the festival is facing.
Yeah, so you now, I think you, in terms of attendance, African attendance, I think something needs to be done. There needs to be more participation from the Africans, and that is a problem from what I can deduce from what you're saying.
Yeah, that's a problem in terms of attendance from our African brothers and sisters attending the festival.
And what would you think is the cause of that?
People tell you that, after the festival, they didn't hear about it, not enough publicity, and people come up with different excuses
Excuses on why they are not
on
there.
why they're not there. And so one of the things we've decided to do this year, we're starting very early to publicize the film festival this year. We have almost 85% of the programming sorted out. So one of the things is we're going to, our flyers will be out early. We want to go around the counties, and we also want to engage with key people in different counties to publicize this, to help us, to support us in publicizing the, so that people won't come back to us after the festival and say that they didn't hear about it. So we're engaging currently with key people in different counties, to help us in publicizing this. And we're also starting on time to push out the information to make sure that people in every nook and cranny of Ireland, hear about the Carlow African Film Festival?
Well, I think that that problem is there among the Africans, attendance, participation, and I think it's something we really need to talk about because it's not just the Carlow Africa Film Festival now. I don't know, it's just a problem that we don't really think that our presence in events that has to do with Africans or celebrate who we are is important. But I tell you, Africans watching this program, that your attendance, your proactive participation in an event done by Africans is very important. Because if you ask yourself, if you don't come to an event that is organized by a fellow brother and the other person think the same way, then who is going to be there? If we just think that, okay, like I said before, we discussed being the first generation of immigrants here, we don't really have to wait for anybody. Be you in Carlow, be you in Galway, be you in Dublin, if a program is credible, like the Carlow Film Festival, and it's put out there, I think the onus is on us to really go out there and make it work and make it shine. So that, I mean, when we are counting what really makes Africans tick, we'll be able to say, well, if you go to Carlow Film Festival, it's good. If you go to Miss Nigerian Island, it's good. If you go to this, it's good. But if we don't come out and support these projects, I don't know. Sometimes I find out that even people in Carlow still say that we were not aware. But I live in Dublin, and long before the event, I see it on, I hear about it on radio, I see it on Facebook. Facebook is where everybody is now. I see the posters on the street in different African shops, and yet, and then there's the word of mouth, and yet people tell you that I didn't hear about it. That's not good enough. It's not enough excuse. It's just the ability to just wake up, wear our clothes, and say, well, you know what? I am going to contribute the little I can. I did not help in organizing it. I did not pay money. I did not volunteer. But tonight, I will be attending. And that's something. That's long enough. So it's a big challenge. Well,
Can I just add this to what you've said? A lot of the time, I think it's a big problem for our people to go out. I know that it's tough, being in Europe, being on our own. A lot of the time, as mothers and fathers, you don't get that extra support in terms of child minding. But what I tell people is when you go out there, it is great for mental health, for mental well-being. You go out there, you attend event, you get refreshed. It helps in terms of mental health. So I always say to people, look, go out there, if not for any other reason, but to help in uplifting yourself, uplifting your morals, uplifting your mood, and helping your mental well-being.
and I think another issue I just remembered now is the issue of late coming. People want to come to an event, but they plan to come late. And by the time they come, the event is finished. Is now in our DNA, and we call it African time.
Yeah.
But there's no African time. Even in Africa, it is not allowed, and it should not be encouraged here. But we just, I've seen situations where people are ready to come to an event, and they're calling other people, "Are you there yet?" And the other one say, "No, I don't want to get there, be the person to get the first person to get there." But you are not even aware that people you don't know are already there. You're only thinking within your circle, that your circle are not there yet, then you are not going to be the first. What about mixing up with other nationality, mixing up with other cultural groups that are there, and not just your circle of friends? And then eventually, by the time you get there, what you see is that everyone is gone. And then it's now assumed that you didn't come. And I can tell you that 50% of Africans, that's what they do. That's why they miss out event. And sometimes by the time they are ready to come, and they are now told that 80% of what needs to be done has been done, they say, "Oh, what am I going to do there anyway? Let me just stay at home." It is not really that it was deliberate, but the fact that you didn't just pick up yourself and say, "Well, this event starts 5:30. Let me get there 4:30 or 5 o'clock latest," is what is wrong. So a lot of things are wrong with people not supporting or people not participating in African event, and I think it's a major problem. Don't be part of that. Don't, you have to look at your children who are also growing up. The children, what example are you setting for your children? If you don't start doing things, how will you be recognized when your children do grow up, come of age, and they ask you, "Mommy, Daddy, what did you do? What was it in Ireland that you helped to establish for us?" What are you going to say? That, oh, a lot of the things they were doing then, I just wasn't interested in. What are you interested in anyway? So I think it's something that our people really need to do. The Carlow Film Festival is something that celebrates who we are every year. I look forward to it, and I go there with all degree of happiness that I've attended the Carlow Film Festival. And once I'm going, I'm already saying, well, I want to know the date for the next year. So I think that they say word is enough for the wise.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we talked about the issue of participation and attendance now, and I know that a lot of people are going to see this video, whether on Facebook, whether on YouTube, whether on Twitters, whether on TV, or west of mouth, that Ade, the festival director, have said that there's one challenge with the Carlow Film Festival, that the Carlow Film Festival is for Africans, and Africans needs to come out. They need to be part of it. It's not by force. It's not forcing anybody, but when you know that what your fellow brother is doing celebrate who you are as a human being, then there's no reason why you shouldn't support. So, Ade, okay. Now, we talked about challenge. I think it also ties in with the support.
Yeah.
That if you support an event or an occasion, then you get there early.
Yeah.
But then again, support might come in other ways.
Other ways, yeah.
Would you say that you're getting enough support for the Carlow Film Festival?
Well, I think when you talk about support, if we talk about when you talk about support, what generally comes to people's mind is the finance, isn't it?
Yeah, that's part.
Yeah. When
without finance, you can't actually do anything.
You can't do an event. I think the whole thing is hinged on finance. Well, in terms of finance, we're lucky to attract the funding from the Art Office of the Carlow County Council, the Art Council of Ireland, and local businesses. We have the likes of Talbot Hotel. We bring in actors, like I said earlier on, from across Africa, and they give us complimentary rooms. They even give us complimentary rooms, complimentary function rooms for our after party. Seven Oaks Hotel, Talbot Hotels. These are the two big hotels in Carlow that have supported the Carlow African Film Festival over the years. And so in terms of finance, yes, we're doing well. We have the support from these great governmental organizations. And generally in terms of support, the Carlow the Carlow County Council, I would like to use this opportunity to commend their effort right from the staff members of the Carlow Art Office to the county manager, Mr. Tom Barry. They're always there for us. I spoke about visa earlier on, that a lot of the time when we encounter visa problems, I run to these people and they never hesitate, to pick up the phone and ring the Irish Embassy in Nigeria. They never hesitate to write a letter, supporting letter, to say that, well, we associate ourselves with the Carlow African Film Festival.